Dexter Morgan may seem like a cold, emotionless killer, but deep down, he's more than that. Yes, he hunts bad people and kills them with careful planning, but throughout the series, we see moments that prove Dexter has a heart. Even though he tries to hide his emotions, certain people and situations bring out his humanity. He loves his sister Deborah, cares deeply for Rita and her kids, and even shows kindness to people he could have ignored. These moments remind us that Dexter isn't just a monster, he's also a person struggling to understand his own feelings. At first glance, Dexter Morgan is a serial killer, plain and simple. He follows his dark passenger, a name he gives to his urge to kill, and seems to live without emotions. But what makes Dexter such an interesting character is that he's not just a monster, he's also human. These small moments of humanity are what set Dexter apart. They make us question whether someone who does terrible things can still have good in them. It's what makes his story so compelling to watch. Dexter's humanity shows up when he connects with others, his sister Deborah, his girlfriend Rita, or even people like Lumen who need his help. These moments remind us that even though Dexter kills, he still cares. They allow us to root for him, to hope that he can change, and to feel sadness when he struggles with his darker side. Even though Dexter tried to keep people at a distance, some relationships brought out his human side. These connections showed that deep down Dexter was capable of love, care, and loyalty. Dexter's relationship with Rita Bennett was one of the first times we saw his humanity. At first, he chose her because she was safe and wouldn't ask too many questions. But over time, his feelings grew real. Rita and her kids gave Dexter a glimpse of a normal life, a life he thought he could never have. When Rita smiled, Dexter felt happiness. When she needed support, he was there for her, even if he didn't always understand why. His love for Rita was genuine, and her death was one of the few moments that truly shattered him.
Do I know you?
We met at the grocery store the other day.
I don't recall.
You asked my girlfriend's daughter to help you find the Cheerios.
Oh, right. So what can I do for you?
Shut the f up, Nathan. Stay away from my kids.
Dexter didn't just love Rita, he cared deeply for her children, Astor and Cody. He stepped in as a father figure, not because he had to, but because he wanted to protect them. One of the most touching moments was when Dexter confronted someone who hurt Astor. It wasn't about his code this time, it was about defending someone he loved. These actions showed that Dexter wasn't just a killer, he was also a man who wanted to keep the people he cared about safe. Despite being a serial killer, Dexter wasn't without compassion. There were times when he chose to help people instead of hurting them. These moments revealed a side of Dexter that truly cared about others. One of the most powerful examples of Dexter's humanity was his relationship with Lumen Pierce in Season 5. Lumen was a survivor of brutal abuse and violence, and Dexter found her just in time to save her life. Instead of following his usual pattern, he saw her pain and chose to help her heal. Dexter didn't just protect Lumen, he gave her justice. Together, they hunted down the men who hurt her, and for the first time, Dexter seemed to find purpose in helping someone else. His connection with Lumen wasn't about darkness, it was about redemption and healing. Dexter's love for his sister Deborah was one of the strongest bonds in the series. No matter how dark his life became, he always protected Deb. Even when she discovered his secret, Dexter's loyalty never wavered. One key moment was when Deb was caught in a dangerous situation. Dexter risked everything to save her, proving that his love for her went far beyond his need to kill. Deborah was Dexter's moral compass, and their relationship showed just how deeply he was capable of caring for someone. These moments of compassion remind us that Dexter wasn't just a monster, he was someone who, at his core, wanted to protect the people who mattered to him.
Is that what this is about? Are you
fucking serious?
Suggesting I have anything to do with my wife's death?
In Season 6, Dexter met brother Sam, a man who had turned his life around after years of violence and crime. Brother Sam became a symbol of hope and change, a man who proved that even the darkest people could find redemption. At first, Dexter was skeptical of Sam's faith and kindness, seeing him as another person trying to mask their true nature. But as they spent more time together, Brother Sam's words began to challenge Dexter's beliefs about good and evil. When Brother Sam was shot and lay dying in the hospital, Dexter stayed by his side. Instead of reacting with cold detachment, he comforted Sam, showing genuine care and compassion. In his final moments, Brother Sam revealed that he knew about Dexter's darkness but believed there was still light within him. The most powerful moment came when Brother Sam asked Dexter to forgive the man who had shot him. Dexter was furious and wanted revenge, but Sam's words, "Don't give in to the darkness," stuck with him. For the first time, Dexter was forced to question whether mercy could be more powerful than justice. Though he ultimately did not forgive the shooter, Brother Sam's influence planted a seed of doubt in Dexter. It showed that part of him wanted to believe people could change, even if he wasn't sure he could. In Season 8, Dexter met Zach Hamilton, a troubled young man with violent urges, much like himself. Zach had already killed once, and Harry's code would have demanded that Dexter eliminate him before he killed again. But instead of seeing Zach as a threat, Dexter saw an opportunity. Dexter believed he could teach Zach how to control his darkness by following the same code that had guided him for years. In Zach, Dexter saw a reflection of his younger self, a person who could either become a monster or something better. By choosing to mentor Zach instead of killing him, Dexter showed a surprising level of mercy.
Captain,
Dexter?
what are you doing here?
The death of Captain Maria LaGuerta in Season 7 is one of the most tragic turning points in Dexter's story. By this point, LaGuerta had uncovered enough evidence to suspect Dexter was the Bay Harbor butcher. Determined to prove the truth, she set a trap, hoping to expose Dexter's dark secret. However, Dexter outsmarted her once again, framing her as a rogue officer. LaGuerta's obsession grew, and eventually she uncovered Dexter and Deborah's connection to the crime scene. When Deborah discovered LaGuerta closing in on Dexter, she faced an impossible choice. In the season's final moments, Dexter and LaGuerta face off in a shipping container. Deborah arrives to find Dexter standing over LaGuerta, ready to kill her. LaGuerta pleads with Deborah to do the right thing, to put Dexter down. In tears, Deborah is forced to choose between justice and her love for her brother. She shoots LaGuerta, killing her and forever breaking herself in the process.
Dexter Morgan? You have the right to remain silent.
Dexter, though deeply conflicted, allows Deborah to make the choice. This moment highlights his humanity. He sacrifices his own morality and his sister's innocence to protect his secret. The cost is enormous, leaving Deborah emotionally shattered and their relationship forever changed. In the series finale, Dexter's love for his son Harrison drives him to make his ultimate sacrifice. Throughout the series, Dexter struggled to balance his dark passenger with his desire to be a good father. He hoped to shield Harrison from the darkness that consumed him, but as events spiraled out of control, Dexter realized he couldn't keep his son safe while still being a part of his life. After Deborah's tragic death in Season 8, Dexter's world falls apart. Overcome with grief and guilt, he decides that the only way to protect Harrison is to remove himself from his life entirely. He fakes his own death, sending Harrison away with Hannah McKay to start a new life in Argentina. The final scene shows Dexter driving his boat into a raging storm, a symbolic act of self-destruction. By choosing isolation, Dexter sacrifices his happiness, his family, and his chance at a normal life. It's a heartbreaking moment, but it proves how much he loved Harrison. Dexter, a man who once claimed to feel nothing, shows the ultimate act of love, letting go to protect the people he cares about most. These sacrifices, both for Deborah and Harrison, mark the culmination of Dexter's humanity. They show that despite his darkness, he was willing to give up everything to save those he loved. In the end, Dexter's story becomes one of tragedy, sacrifice, and a glimpse of the humanity he never believed he had.